Hello, friends. Whether you're catching this live in real time or not, welcome to another video on the channel. I have something that I want to show you guys. I'm going to pull majority of it over here. Okay, so I went grocery shopping and I'm like unloading all my groceries, saving my food packaging before I discard it. And I like to use that in my junk journal spreads, but I want to show you guys that this is Compy, my composition notebook, a standard composition notebook, 100 pages, y'all. It is finished. It is done. It is completely done. I did add some other things like on the back here, but I do want to possibly add some things on the side, but every page is filled. Last night, I made this spread, this one, and this one. And then I have a few more things that I want to add here to this last page. But other than that, it's done. I just need to add a few finishing touches. But this is Compy. I'm going to be doing a full video of this on my YouTube coming this weekend. But I figured since I am in the process of putting my groceries away, I can share with you guys how I save what I save. Even with buying, whether it's apparel or food packaging. So I love to make spreads using things that I buy with my groceries. So as I'm doing it, I'll go through and save what I want to save. So for this one, I could easily use the whole entire front of this box as a background. So if you're using a composition notebook and you're like, how can I get the pages thicker? And I'll go more in depth with this in my YouTube video going over the composition notebook. But one way that I get the pages to be thicker is using cardboard like materials. And this is thin cardboard. I like to use bubble mailers, all of that. But everything on the box is viable. You can use it all. Okay, so I'm just cutting off the flaps. Just cutting off the flaps. And I know what I want to keep from this. Storing it, I could just leave it like this, but I like to make it easier on myself when I'm making my stockpile. I'm doing this one on live, but I usually will go ahead and put on a show. And I will spend that journaling marathon, that session, but I like to call them my journaling marathons. I will spend that session cutting things out. So boom. Now, when it comes to me putting this on the page, if I want to go and make it even more detailed, I can, but this is a good starting base. I can just go ahead and put it on the page. Make it easier for myself. I like the text of this, so we're going to go ahead and cut that out. But before I get more detailed, I do just go ahead and cut out like the square or whatever, and then I'll go back in and see if I want to do any details, and I just do it really fast, and voila. So we have that, right? I love this popsicle text, and it's already like a curved shape, so all I have to do is maintain the shape and we're good. Always keeping, I am in my kitchen with my garbage can, but always keep a garbage bag of some sort, garbage can, some type of garbage concoction next to you so that you can toss it as you go. All right, then there's like the flaps. These I would not cut. I would literally just add them to my journal stockpile as is. And if you're wondering, well, where are you going to put all this stuff? One of my favorite hacks is using Ziploc bags. Doesn't have to be the exact Ziploc brand, but you know, using a jumbo gallon size bag. And these can be reused over and over and over again. But I'm just going to take the flaps, put them in, take this, put it in, popsicle, put it in. All right. Then we have the rest of the flaps, right? This one I know I'm not going to use, but this one, who knows? This one is viable to me. I am going to take off the sides because I'm not going to use those sides. I'm just going to use this. So I made a die cut out of the bigger one. And then this one, we just saved the whole flap. Now over here, this has other flavors. So for this one, I'm not going to use this part. But I'm just going to save that. All right. I am also going to do the same thing to the other side of the flap that has more flavors. And I'm also going to go ahead and cut the nutrition label because I like to save that. And then we have this again, making it a little bit easier on myself. I cut it down to about the size that I would use it. So because I had one that was long, I'm going to do one that's shorter. But this is going to go ahead and get added to the bag. No rhyme or reason. This is a popsicle puzzle. So for this one, I'm just going to cut around the actual puzzle and turn this into a die cut. So there we have that into the bag. And then I don't think there's anything else that I want to keep. This is another option, but I'm not going to use it. So everything else, could you save everything else? Sure. I've saved barcodes and all of that before. So those, again, are options. Then I went to Trader Joe's and I got these pita crackers. So first things first, just go ahead and open up the entire box. So that's making sure the top and the bottom are open, and then fully opening it up like this. And it's like, okay, what do I want to use? And I'm definitely going to save this whole middle panel here. This one, there's not a whole bunch that I want from it. So this one's going to be pretty fast. So I'm going to take this whole little nutrition side. Into the bag it goes. Okay. And then we're going to turn the plate into a... We're going to turn the plate into a die cut. So there's that. The rest, I'm not keeping it. And then this barcode I do like. So we will go ahead and keep the barcode. And I might use the text on the bottom, but even if I don't, I have the barcode. All right. And then I like this one little pita cracker here that I'm going to go ahead and cut around. But for me to be more precise, I just needed to get it off the box, and then you can be more precise in making your die cut. Okay. All right. And when it comes to using this kind of stuff in my journal, I use double stick tape. I get my double stick tape from Amazon. You can check out the link in my bio. It has all the information. All right, I also have this. I usually don't buy stuff like this, but since I have it, we have this pull part, saving it, okay? Open up the box. And what I really like about this one in comparison to the other packaging that I use is that this has a window. And other things that have windows are like your envelope packaging. So when I get envelopes, I save those. So once again, open up the box. But what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to save this whole front piece and then decide what I want to do with it later, because I don't want to completely take it apart because I want to salvage the window part. But again, using a gallon size bag, it fits. Okay. Then here I just want the nutrition facts. The sides I don't really care about. So we're just taking this and this, cut that out, and then I am going to take this barcode, but I'm going to leave it a little bit bigger when I put it in the bag. All right, and then here's from the pita crackers into the bag. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I want from this. I will take this piece. And sometimes if I don't use what I saved, I'll toss it. But I'd rather save it than not. And I'll go ahead and save this flap too, but I think that's all that I'm gonna do with this. And the rest goes into the trash. Good thing I didn't take my trash out yet. No, we're saving a piece of it. All right, so from that, I'm gonna save this as well as this. And then I also just found this from deli meat that I got from Aldi's. And then this is from that Trader Joe's box. I'm going to save that as well. All right. Ginger ale bottle. Okay. The plastic I like to include in spreads as well. So all you gotta do is peel it. Be careful, because then you'll get the ends like that. But then for this piece right here, all I'm gonna do is just cut it. And then into the stockpile it goes. And I'll have a variety of these types of items. Have I used them in spreads before? Sure, but we're not using it the same way. Right. Okay, applesauce. Before I throw this away, I'm just gonna save two things. Oh, well, this like completely started coming off, so we'll go ahead and rip that. So I'm gonna save this part. And then if you guys haven't caught on by now, I like the nutrition facts, but I want to do a whole spread of just these. Of just this, I want to do a whole spread. And let's not forget my little barcodes that I like to save. This, I feel like when I do stuff like this, I feel like going back to like my childhood years with the box tops off the cereal. So fun. All right, these I have saved before. I've done a spread with this, so I'm not going to be saving much because I've used it before in a spread. But I am going to go ahead and again just take the nutrition facts. When I get my stuff from the grocery store, I really try to just go ahead and get it out of the packaging because I don't store my snacks in this way. I put them in containers, so I guess we'll just use this. Take that out. Go ahead and put these. Oops. And then I can cut the nutrition thing off that one and get it out. Yep. That's what we'll do. Oh, this is trash. That needs to go in the sink. That needs to go in the sink. All right. And then back to that whole barcode. If there is a little bit of construction paper, I do try to, not construction paper, cardboard on it from the glue adhesive. I try my best to see if I can salvage it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But then there's this barcode over here that is in good condition. Worth my while to keep this one. Hi, Carrie. Happy Friday. All right, so I think that's it for this one. Not going to save anything else, but also another cool thing about these containers, and I might go ahead and just save a piece of it, because if you don't want to use the actual like front, you can use the back as a background. Yes, I am building my junk journal stash. This is specifically for my junk journaling. I do a mix of journaling inside of my composition notebook. I'm actually done with the composition notebook. And I just went grocery shopping, so I was like, instead of me throwing this out, I can share it with you guys. So here's my composition notebook. This is Compy. I'm going to be using another composition notebook, but I'm going to be doing how I plan inside of it a little bit differently. So I'll be sure to share that with you guys. I'm going to be doing a full video on this composition notebook. That video is coming this weekend, but I just finished it. 100 pages, never glued anything together, never taped any pages together. This is fully straight through. Thank you. This has been a labor of love. But just to show you guys some of my junk journal spreads as to what I do. Like this one is a junk journal spread using food packaging. I don't always save my food packaging. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Another junk journal spread. Another one. So I accumulate everything in these journaling marathons that I have. It'll be like 2 parts. One is collecting the materials, and then when it goes time for me to sit down and actually put spreads together, it's so much easier. Okay. So for my busy people out there that are like, I don't have time to do this, or it's an expensive hobby, one, you're always buying something. So if you need a creative outlet, right, you can get any notebook. When it comes to doing a creative journal like this, you can get any notebook. You probably have newspapers, things that you get in the mail, magazines. Check your local Facebook groups or even your local library to see what they're giving out. But there's so many ways. I'm just using food packaging as an example right now, but we have more stuff that I'm going to show you guys. All right, so here is a chip bag, right? But I just want the chips as a die cut. And I use a mix of glue and double stick tape in my journal, but I prefer to use I prefer to use double stick tape because it just adheres better. And while I don't get much off of Amazon anymore, I do buy my tape in bulk. So this, I rinsed it off. So now it doesn't have anything on it anymore. And this, I would use double stick tape. Is the double stick tape hard to stick to a material like this? It does lift at first when you're trying to like peel the paper off. But if you push it down and then peel, it'll be fine. All right, and there's nothing else I want from this bag. Pull out my whole entire garbage bag. It'll be a little bit easier to throw things out. Okay. Then, like I said, I don't keep boxes when I am doing my grocery unboxing. So I'm just taking what I want so that I can get rid of the box. But I'm really excited to do this nutrition facts spread. So I've done themed spreads, like I've done a retro Uno card spread. I've done one with all tags. I've done one with all, this one is, what just flew? Something flew. Okay, that's garbage. So I've done one with all envelopes, right? And then I know I did an all tag one. I think that one was fairly, was it in this one? I've done so many spreads. I be trying to keep up with myself. I have a total of 120 something spreads. I counted. Happy Friday, Carrie. I'll be sure to check out your page. So we have collages. This is a bubble mailer. This one here. So I have a bubble mailer. I'm going to use it. I saved my Starbucks stuff. But the retro card one, I know I did one of tags. I just don't know where it is. But here's one I did of just playing cards. And I would do it again because I could do it differently. And then I did this one of just retro Uno cards. And I think the one I did of tags is in another journal. So this was my rebound journal. I didn't stay in this one very long because I like a soft cover. It's easier that way, but this one was fun to do. So let me see if it's in here. This one was a mix of junk journaling and memory keeping. Like this spread, I did a whole entire video about. This was from when I went to Atlantic City. We love flaps. We love an interactive spread. So this one I did a memory. Well, I did the playing cards, more stuff from Atlantic City, but I used the Monopoly stickers are from Dollar Tree, but then we just have flaps here. I know I did a spread of all tags. I just don't know where it is. This one was one of my favorites. I love this one. This was so fun. So this one was from 2024. I used it for like 2 months, I think. Oh, this was one of my favorite things that I did. I made a birthday card for myself. And I took all the messages that I got off of TikTok and text messages I received and made a birthday card. That was fun. All right. And then here's my cover. My covers to all of my journals are a mix of stickers and patches. You can get the stickers from, of course, anywhere. But patches, I typically get a lot of them from Hobby Lobby. And my grandmother sends them to me. But you can get them at your local craft store. Get them on sale. Also, check the thrift store. Don't be out there paying full price for your supplies, guys. So That is one thing I love about junk journaling, and I know it's such a trend, but it's a trend that I've jumped on within the last year, and I've been really, really consistent at it. And I just love that I can take the packaging and just, you know, do whatever with it. So this I'm going to go ahead and save as well because it has that barcode that I like, and I'm probably going to end up doing an all barcode spread. So, and then of course, once again, glad I didn't throw this out because I'm saving to do a nutrition fact spread. So then once I gather all this stuff, I will go through everything else that I've accumulated, and I keep them all in these Ziploc bags. But I'll go through everything and be like, okay, this is keep, this is trash. All right. So that's that. Let's see if there's anything else. So this came in the mail. It's a car wash thing. I don't want to show the address, but this is going in here because I'm going to use it. Yep. Going to use that plastic. And then more applesauce. I'm just probably going to grab the nutrition facts off of this one and call it a day. Okay. Put that in there. Put that in there. All right. So this one has very nice barcode. So we have this barcode. And then we'll go ahead and cut this. Might as well cut it over the trash, save myself some steps there. And then this last one, and I like the way that it peeled because it kind of gives it a different edge, like a little design. So it's like a little flag. Cute. And then the rest, I don't want. All right, this is my salmon for dinner later. I love making a salmon bowl, so I'll do jasmine rice and cucumber. Jasmine rice, cucumber, shredded carrot, and the salmon. Make me a little mayo dressing of some sort, or add in some soy sauce. All right, so I just brought a new thing of mandarins, and I do add seaweed on top as well, so it's like a little sushi bowl. All right, I have not used netting in my journal, but I have used buttons in my journal. I feel like anything is possible. So this, we're going to save this whole thing. We're going to save all of this, and we're just going to put it in the bag. I don't need to save the other side. And I don't want to save all of the netting. I just want to save a piece of the netting and see what I can do with it. Okay. Could be a cool overlay over something. Okay, that's not a good piece because it has too many holes in it. So let's just cut another piece. Again, doesn't have to be big. All right, so for this, it could go inside of an envelope. We'll figure this out. But, you know, a little piece to experiment with. Garbage. Back into the fridge. Oh, man. That was a, well, I mean, I'll do something with that. I'm not gonna toss that. All right. What else did I get? My sweet treat for later. So I'm gonna be watching wrestling later, and you guys I made a Snackle box. I made a Snackle box to eat later in watching wrestling. I got this container from Amazon a while back. I gave one to my boyfriend. He likes to take it to work. But containers like these are also good if you're not going to use it for snacks. They're also good to just go ahead and put your craft supplies in. Okay. So gallon Ziploc bags are great, but also using smaller sandwich bags are cool too, because you can put smaller pieces of things in there. I like to use also those, they're not sandwich bags, but they're like those little, like a button bag. Those are good for like really, really small text that you may cut out of packaging. Okay. Receipts. We love to save receipts. Receipts do fade over time, but I don't care. I save it. I usually get a box of grits. This time I didn't. And then when I eat my Milky Way, will I probably go ahead and I probably will go ahead and save the packaging, as well as the packaging from my rice. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Ooh, oh my gosh. This is gross. Gross. Alright, I need to wash dishes. Immediately. Alright. Then we have my Milky Way for later. So also doing this while I'm putting my groceries away is forcing me to hold myself accountable and actually put things away. So it's beneficial in the long run. Alright, I think that's it for my groceries. Oh wait, I lied. We have more stuff. Alright. Even the paper containers, plastic containers, you can still save these. Like, cut the things off the lid, but these are going in my fridge. So that'll come another time. Oh my god. Wait. I have to wash my hands. Yo. All right. So these from Trader Joe's are so good. I would definitely save this part whenever I open this. Whenever I get to it, we'll do that. All right. I have one package of my seaweed left. I think I also got the seaweed from Trader Joe's. Nonetheless, we have this part of the packaging that I can take with the nutrition label. And this one, because it's clear, is going to be cool to add to the spread. Everything else, I don't care about. And we have another receipt into the Ziploc bag. It goes. All right, one more thing before I go ahead and get off. I'm going to show you guys what I recently got from the thrift store and what I do with the thrift store tags. So I got this Banana Republic sweater. Need to wash it, but I just take the tag off. I did not pay $21 for it, that's for sure. Everything at the thrift store was 50% off today. I've been looking for a green sweater because I have an orange one that I wear all the time. And I've been meaning to buy a green one, and I was like, okay, this is good. I like to just button the first few and then leave the rest out. But this is a staple, and I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. And it was well worth the price for me. This is a little... I meant to give that, but I forgot. I had picked up a cake for a coworker, but I forgot to... We had candles at work, thankfully. I forgot to bring the knife in. This, okay? Saving that. This is just the top, but it's a good neutral for work. Tried to get a few things that weren't too heavy. Then I got these shoes that are brand new. Looks like something that would have been at like Marshall's or whatever. But we're saving the tag again. That was 50% off because I would not pay that. So these were from JCPenney. So who knows how much they could have been. All right, but I'm also gonna save this because I like to possibly use this as an elastic closure because it's so stretchy. So again, into the bag it goes. And if I don't use it as a closure, I'll probably just like use like I'll probably like attach it to the page with like a do I have one over here? Do I? Yeah. I'll use a tag that has a hole and then just tape the tag and let it hang over the page, similar to what I did with this one. So I had a tag, it had the string on it, I just made a knot and it hangs over. So it's kind of like a bookmark. Okay. So shout out to these shoes. And I wanted to get something comfortable that I'd be able to wear to work. Those are specifically work shoes. Don't plan to wear them anywhere else. Okay? And then I got some magazines. I love getting magazines from the thrift store because I can always get them super cheap. Yesterday I spent $1.75 on magazines. Today I spent $2 on magazines, and I've got a total of 8. So we have this one, this Cooking with Paula. And what I would take out of here, like I'm probably going to watch, when I watch wrestling later, I'm going to have my magazines and I'm going to be cutting things out, making my die cuts, making my stockpile that way. These, I'm going to go ahead and just put them inside of here because they're already good to go. So you can use the front or you can use the back. I like using both. Then this one, right? All the images that are inside. It's beautiful. And I do have a live video of me going through magazines and what I pull out of them. But just to show you an example of things that make the cut and then what I actually do with them. It's one of my early magazines. And here it is. One of my favorite spreads is this one. So I took photos from from a food magazine and just made this collage. I used a mix of glue and double stick tape for this one. But when using magazines, it's very, very easy to use glue if that's what you have because the paper is thinner. But if you are using like the food packaging or something thicker, double stick tape adheres better. I love Better Homes and Gardens magazines. The imagery is just beautiful, but you can take photos like these and use them as backgrounds. You can take this, use them as die cuts. Even these, I like to use as backgrounds because it covers the page, but then I'm able to layer on top. And then the last one I got is this one for my Thanksgiving spread. This would have been perfect, but for Thanksgiving, what I did was I took the grocery store paper, and this is the spread that I created using a grocery flyer. Okay, so things are at your fingertips, guys. They're at your fingertips. All right. And really quickly before I get off live, let me show you the other thing I got. And then we're going to do mail. And then that's it for this one. Okay. So this, I wanted to get like these houses during Christmas time. I didn't. But I have it now, and that's what matters. I want to turn this into my piggy bank or like some type of hideaway. I have the perfect spot of where I'm going to put this in my kitchen. I have my shelves and I just decorate the top. So I'm going to end up putting it up there. But y'all, it's beautiful. This was, I think, this was $8. And had I seen this yesterday, I'm kicking myself because had I seen this yesterday, I would have got it cheaper. I don't think it was out yesterday. Then again, I didn't really go into the brick and brack section, as they call it. And I do like to try to save the sticky tags because they're easy to just go ahead, you know, and stick on again. But for this one, what happened is that the top part came off, but I was able to salvage the bottom. So I'm going to take something plastic, like this Mandarin one, stick it because it's going to peel off every single time. I honestly don't think it's that hard to source magazines because people are literally throwing them out. So you can check Facebook Marketplace, check your free groups in those areas. Again, check your local library. But yes, a lot of things are digital, but I also have had success in finding magazines. But another option, since you're going down the line of, and thank you for your comment, Brandy. Since you're going down the line of it's harder to source magazines, okay, let me show you what else I like to do. So I do have these, which are like the little ones that you get from Dollar Tree, and you're probably like, what are you doing with this again? But for $1.25, it's not always the best option, but again, saving things like this. But what I like to do is I like to get coffee table books and I upcycle those. These are also more magazines that I've gotten from the thrift store. Again, these are older. This one is from 2016. This one's not that old, but it's an older one. I also like to get children's books. I did a whole spread using children's books. I've used these quite a bit. Let me actually grab my journal to show you how I've used children's books, and I do have a video on that as well. But here's ways that I've used children's books and inserting my own photos. And I have another one back here. This was a Halloween themed one. Just took some old photos and added them to the scenes. And then I think that was it. So that's an example of what I've done with that. But I also take books like these and, clock myself, and I will take the images and make collages with them. These books are gonna go into a landfill anyway if I'm not using it, if I'm not cutting it out. This one I also found. This one is on my list next of images to oh my God. This one right here, Princess Diana. So this has a mix of color and black and white images. This right here, I'd cut and just use this whole little strip. So again, these may be a little bit easier to source, the coffee table books. This is another book that I have taken things out of and I'm still going to be going back through. I just did one pass of doing that. So that's another option. Like cookbooks you can definitely find at a thrift store if you're looking for more food themed stuff. Those are easy to get, but yeah, here's more of the children's books that I found. And comic books are another good option. Just different versatility. Even getting books like these, the hand decorating, because then what happens is that a page like this becomes a background, you know? That's what I got it for. And again, you could use this whole thing as a background in your journal. So people don't like to call that junk journaling. For me, my journal is a creative journal. I don't really like labels though, but my journal is a creative journal. So I'm doing collages. I may do a memory keeping spread, and I'm definitely doing junk journaling. But junk journaling to me is taking junk that I have and making spreads with it. So we have this mailer, right? And I have junk inside of it. How apropos. All right, so we're gonna do the mail option really quick before I get off live. Okay. So things that you get in the mail, whether it's flyers, envelopes, they can all be used, right? So this is an envelope that I got. I saved the whole thing. I can use the window, or I can use this as a background in something. Options. This is junk mail, but is there anything I want from the junk mail? This is another envelope. So we're just gonna go ahead and rip this because I'm not gonna save it. I don't want anything in there. All right. So then we also have, where's my scissors? We also have bubble mailers, right? So I received a swap package, and what I do is actually use the inside of the bubble mailer. You can also use the other side if you want. Options. Garbage that. This one I'm not going to save. I don't need a whole bunch of that, but this is an option, okay? I like to use that. I've received one from BJ's before, right? So this one I've been holding on to because what I want to do is turn the shopping cart into a die cut. And I'm so glad that it's different from the shopping cart that I used before. Let me see if I can find that spread really quick. I know it was a recent one. Recent-ish. Let's see. Put that there. Let's see if I can find it. But I recently used in this one, this junk journal spread. There is the BJ's shopping cart. And now I have another one to do a spread with. This one was easier to turn into a more defined die cut because of what's in it. This one, I could make it more defined, but because I'm just putting it into the bag, I'm just going to put it in like this. And if I want to make it more detailed when that time comes, then I'll do that. All right, this is a cup. Save that for my nieces. Yeah, we're not saving that. So this, I just emptied out this bag. And what was in the bag? Tissue paper. Tissue paper is great to put down as a background as well. Be careful when doing it though. You don't want to rip it. Okay. So that's going to go into the envelope as well. But this, typically, I'll go ahead and fold it. Not the envelope. It's going to go into here. The Ziploc bag is full. Do I care that it closes? No. It doesn't have to. They usually don't. This needs to be filed away. I don't need to save that receipt. This envelope I'm saving. This one. This, no. Already did what I need to do with that. This here. I will go ahead and cut off my address, but I'm going to save this whole thing. Same thing with this one. I think I'm just going to save the BJ's portion. I don't think there's anything else I want from that. So we have a few die cuts in larger pieces. And it doesn't have to be organized when you're doing it. Don't worry about that. Another envelope. This card came in the mail. You know, like when they're always trying to offer credit cards. So I'm just going to cut my name off. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. I could have saved my first name on here. That's not the end of the world. But I'm going to save the card. Use that for something. More envelopes. More envelopes. And this, no. All right, let's see what other two flyers we have here. This is... I don't really know if I want this one. This is from my health insurance, but I don't want this one. Not everything makes the cut. This one, I did not mean to destroy it the way that I did. I wanted to save it, but I like the thing that says hope starts here. So I'll just end up taping it. Let me go ahead and grab some tape really quick. Grab a piece of tape. Okay. Take that. Put it on the back. And just like that, it's good as new. Hope starts here. All right. So that is it for my journal stockpile. I honestly don't know how long I was on live. Almost an hour. And this is what we were able to do. I love that. I don't think there's anything else I have to put away, but just to show you how I use Ziploc bags in general, like these are all my playing cards, different sizes, some in the box, some not, you know? How am I able to journal in such a chunky composition notebook? Clips, they're a lifesaver. Other ways that I've stored my junk journal stuff. So here are, here are more bags, more bags, more bags, right? So then it's like, okay, I know that I want to keep what's in this bag because I just did it. But then it's like, what's in this bag, right? So let's take a look to see what's going to stay and what's going to go. This is trash. Why do I have it? Probably was working on something. This one. The felt sticker part, I don't care about it, but I want the barcode because I want to do a barcode spread. This one from the post office, I don't really like have any other reason to use it, so this one's getting put in the trash. This, I was saving it, but honestly and truly, I only want it for one part, and it's this little window. So we're gonna save the window, discard the rest. I don't know where my Uno cards are, but I'm gonna go ahead and put that in with the playing cards. This one, this is from a first aid kit. I'm just gonna save this part. The rest is going in the trash. This part of the envelope, I'm going to save the window portion and trash the rest. This I've used so many times, I don't need to use it anymore. This we're just gonna go ahead and cut the top, but we will go ahead and save this envelope. Yeah, Lori, so what I like to do is literally just, I group things together by like items. So when I'm grouping together envelopes or food packaging, envelopes, miscellaneous. So whatever you have the most of, try to group it together that way. Because I had one of all envelopes, but I used so many envelopes that I don't know what happened after that. So more envelopes. This one, this was sent in the mail. I'm not going to use that one. I know I'm not. So I would have used it already. This is a Rugrats tag from something that I bought. Definitely saving that. The nostalgia. This as well. This one is ripped. So I'm not going to use that one. It served its purpose in the world. This one is also like the window's destroyed, so I'm just going to save the window portion and toss the rest. This one is okay, as is this one. So I just completely saved the envelope itself. This, not using it. This, I'm not going to use it again. This, I already used it. So see how I was able to go through that very, very quickly? There we have it. All right, I'm just gonna put that back in this bag. Okay, and then the other envelope stuff that I saved, we're gonna move it over here. That doesn't count. And then we're going to end up making a miscellaneous one. And I'm just going to leave the food packaging and the tags inside of here. So like the receipt can come out. The receipt can come out. That can come out. The envelopes, like I said, we have a bag for that now. These little flyers are now in the miscellaneous. But anything from food packaging to tags is now in this bag. I do not label them because I can see through them. And then this bag I've had for a while. Reuse them. Then this one has a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even know what's in here anymore. So let's see. We have this envelope. Nope, don't want that. This one is a little bent, but it's going in the envelope one. This, I like the card itself, like to layer things on top. This is stuff that I saved from a magazine, but when it comes to text, I have a whole different folder for it. This one I got from Dollar Tree. And then again, like one of those little bags that, like this, I put my smaller text in. And I just put that in the back. Okay. So we have more tags. The button. This is Starbucks packaging that I use. I did what I need to do with it. Okay. So that's the thing about junk journaling, is going back and organizing. So this is another piece of text, and this is that. No, don't want to keep that. Text. Is this text too? Yep, text. Nope, don't need that, don't need that. This I've been wanting to put on something, so I am going to save this. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. This does not belong in here. It belongs with my scrapbook paper. This will keep. No. No. This can go with the envelopes. No. So all of this, I'm going to go ahead and put in with the food packaging and all of that. And then this is the miscellaneous bag at the moment. Some of the stuff I got in a swap. So I'm just going to put that inside of... We'll actually just make 2 bags. We don't need to have 3. I'll keep all the swap stuff together. This, no. This I do want to keep. This envelope, no. No. And sometimes as I'm going through stuff, I have to go back through it to make sure, like, girl, what are you saving this for? Like this one, honestly and truly, I'm just going to save this part. This red part. Because I like that. And then I do like the text, here's the big news. But this is going to go in with the text that I've been saving, which goes into this envelope here. We'll go ahead and take that off. All right, so we have the receipts and this and this and this and this into this bag. And we'll go ahead and put this in here too. Well, I'm actually going to put the text with the envelopes because I'll be able to easily spot it. So envelopes, this, and this. It's all together now. I know what I have. And I went through it to see what was trash and what was not. And that is the most important thing about accumulating anything for your journal stash, is that it might have suited you in that moment, but if you're not using it, you're not using it. Look at this bread tag going in the bag. That's a good find. That is a good find. All right, I don't think there's anything else on my carts. I've been holding on to this piece of Sephora bag. I just love the black and white stripes as a background. I think that's it though. So when I take the things out of the magazines or the books, they'll be going in here. So this is some of the stuff I cut out last night. I was over on TikTok live and I was like, let me go do a YouTube live of what I'm sourcing as I'm going through and like organizing. So this I saved. And this, these cookies, tacos, nachos, sandwich, pasta, cake, and this rice. And it'll end up going in a spread. This pouch, well, this container I got from the thrift store. And then things that I also take out of the magazines that may be a little bit larger. Like these I took out. This I took out of a book. And I haven't done a spread yet, but I want to do like a postal type of spread because both of my parents worked at the post office. So I just feel like that old school vibe pays homage to them. And then that's it. That is it. That is all. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Put all that stuff there. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I will be going through my entire composition notebook. That video is going to be going up this weekend. And then also my my current planner system, I'm using a notebook. That'll be going up as well. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them. I'm happy to give tips however I can. So for Brandy that left a question, just to recap, you can't source magazines, get coffee table books, cookbooks. You can find beautiful images inside of those. They're going in a landfill if you're not buying them or finding them on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people give those away. But when I find myself going to thrift stores, that stuff is typically cheaper because a lot of people aren't buying it. And then for Lori, who talks about keeping things organized, grouping together like items is the best way for me to keep things organized for anything in my stash, whether it's junk that I'm compiling, that I'm choosing to keep and recreate and upcycle. My stickers, whatever the case may be, you group together like items, which I just showed you guys. So this live will be up on the page for you guys to reference. I like to give things in real time as much as possible for you guys when it comes to that. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them on the live, and be sure to stay tuned for more on the channel. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one.